Cars are a work of art. Every single line, every single curve, every single edge, and every single piece of metal put on that car was put with a purpose. Every single bit of it has a reason. The entirety of the car is a work of art, and each piece is just one stroke made by some engineer, by some designer in a different part of the world. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Imad and I'm from Engines and Idiots, and this is my first actual video I'm going to upload involving cars. So this video is going to be about the 5 most beautiful classic cars of all time. Number 1. The Lamborghini Miura. The Lamborghini Miura is an absolutely beautiful car. All of the curves, all of the edges, every single thing about this car is absolutely beautiful. This car was made in 1966 and it continued production until 1973. It was a 3.9 liter V12 engine making roughly 345 horsepower. When this car was first introduced, it was introduced under the model name P400. Now the P400 had a successor, the P400S, which had 15 more horsepower than before. Now the P400S was significantly faster. It had roughly about 365 or 360 horsepower when introduced. Following that, the P400SV, the Miura SV, had 15 extra horsepower added to that. So at the end of the day, the Miura SV was making roughly 380 horsepower. Now this car was actually made to put Ferrari on a run for their money. Now, Lamborghini and Ferrari were trying their best to make the fastest and most powerful Grand Touring car. Now, Lamborghini, when they'd released this car, Ferrari was completely destroyed. They were dominated, decimated by the power and the sheer beauty of the Miura. The Lamborghini Miura has by far one of the most beautiful interiors ever. The gorgeous gauge cluster, the amazing leather, every single bit and piece of the interior just makes sense. Now the exterior is just as beautiful. The front end with those gorgeous eyelash type headlights and the amazingly beautiful rear. Later on there was different models built like the SVJ and the Roadster, but the main models that everyone focuses on is the SV, the S, and the base model. Number 2. The Jaguar E-Type. The Jaguar E-Type was built in 1961 and was continued in production until 1975. Enzo Ferrari called this the most beautiful car ever made. Now the Jaguar E-Type is absolutely beautiful. All the sleek edges and the amazing curves of this car just make this car absolutely perfect. The interior of this car is just absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen. Now, the thing about this car that really turns me off compared to the Miura is the speed. Now, as beautiful as this car is, I think the speed is one of the main factors that actually make this car not as good as the Miura. The wood grain on the steering wheel, the aluminum handbrake, and all of the leather is so meticulously made, it just makes sense. The interior does have way too many switches and way too many gauges, but I think that just adds to the beauty of the car itself. I've actually seen this car in person at Houston Cars and Coffee, and I think this car is absolutely beautiful. Number 3. Mercedes 300 SL. The Mercedes 300 SL. There's not much to say about this car. Everything's just perfect. The gull wing doors and the outstanding interior. Everything just screams Mercedes here. The chrome and the aluminum with the leather mixed together. Everything just looks absolutely perfect. There are not many cars that can actually compete at this level of beauty. The only issue I have with this car, personally, is again the speed. As beautiful as it may be, the speed doesn't add to the beauty of this car. This car is making 212 horsepower with a straight 6 engine. And this car was absolutely beautiful. Number 4. Toyota 2000 GT. The Toyota 2000 GT is absolutely beautiful. The entire exterior just looks outstanding. It's by far one of the most beautiful fastbacks that I've ever seen. The pop-up headlights just fit with the entire perspective of how the car is supposed to be. This car was built in 1967 in a joint project with Toyota and Yamaha. It was continued from 1967 to 1970. A total of 351 of these were produced. This car was ranked by Road and Track magazine as more exciting and enjoyable than the Porsche 911. Daniel Craig, one of the James Bonds himself, even said that this car is the best James Bond car of all time. Now, in my personal opinion, I think the interior is quite lacking, but the exterior makes up for all of it, and that's why I put it at number 4. This car might have been slow, but it sounds amazing, and it was also inspired by the Jaguar E-Type. I think this car is just absolutely stunning exterior-wise. Although it isn't my favorite interior, I think this is just beautiful.
What's happening? We got a position these things.
Number 5. Alfa Romeo Tipo 33 Stradale. The last car on this list is the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. The Alfa Romeo Tipo 33 is by far one of the most amazing cars I've ever seen, the best sounding car I've ever heard, and it just has a 2-liter V8. This car might not be that fast, it might not have that much horsepower, but it is the most fun and most enjoying car just to simply look at. It makes 230 horsepower, and it just sounds outstanding. There are only 18 examples of this car ever produced between 1967 and 1969. There are 2 models, one that has twin headlights and one that has one single headlights on each side. This car might not have the best interior in the world, but I think the exterior makes up for all of it. The interior is very simple, the gauge cluster is very basic, there's too much carpet in the car, it's not my personal taste, but exterior still makes up for all of it. At the end of the day, I would say that this car is absolutely amazing and deserves to be in the top 5 most beautiful cars of all time. Hi guys, thank you for watching my video. My name is Imad. This is my first video on Engines and Idiots. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any suggestions or any comments you'd like to make, leave them in the comments below. In the meantime, smash that like button, subscribe, and I have more videos coming up soon. I'll be uploading weekly, maybe even bi-weekly, depends on my schedule. I'll see how it works. But by the end of this month, I'll have a full schedule set up, and it'll be a consistent schedule, whatever I might go with. But if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them below. I might start doing car reviews, I might start doing other lists like this, or vlogs, however you may want it. But please leave any suggestions below, and I am totally down to do any of those.